G'day all, Craig Taylor, back at you today with just a quick video just on something that has come up in chit chat recently with all the guys I ride with. It's tyres, what you use, where you're getting them from, and that's some of the other information. So, just going to jump straight into it. On the front of my flux board, you may have seen in the videos, I run the MBS tyres, they're roadies, really nice, they're a soft tyre. Get them up to 60 PSI and really high quality tyre, really fun, really like them. On the back, the rear of my Flux, the Kenda tyres, again 200 by 50 millimeters. These ones you can push up to 50 PSI, so not quite as hard as pressure, but I run these at about, the MBS is about 50, I run these smack on 50. So I run these to maximum and the MBS is slightly under. The difference between these two tyres, and to let you know why I run front and rears, the Kendas are really hard to get hold of, so I don't use them a lot. They're a hardware and tyre, so I put them where the motors are on the rear, and very durable. So the difference between these two, from what I've seen, I reckon these are going to be a 2,000 kilometre wheel. These are probably a 500 kilometre wheel. In weight just alone, someone pointed out to me today, the Kendas weigh in at about 333 grams and the MBSs are about 240 grams. So that you can see the same size tyre, but obviously the makeup is slightly different, with pretty much nearly half of the MBS weight on top for the Kenda. So that's just something to think about. Another tyre that is out there quite a lot, and I use these on my Lykan, the Sunmates. The Sunmates are a great tyre, really nice. Basically these inflate to 36 PSI. So you inflate them to 36 PSI, the Sunmates. Really nice tyre, lower profile. The tread pattern is slightly different. A thing that comes to mind though with these is there is no tread indicator. So without having a tread indicator, you don't know when they're worn out. With the MBSs, roadies, and the Kendas, you can see this little line or this little bump in between the two center treads here. It's a good indicator to say where your tire's at as far as life. When you see one like this, for example, this is one that has blew out on me. You can see that little gap or that little edge in between here is really narrow, and pretty much it's telling you to change a tyre. So if you're getting low like this and you're going to go out for a ride, take a spare with you, or two if you've got a few of these, because you may need them during the ride. Obviously, with my Tramper, I run the off-road tyre, the 200 by 50. Really nice tyre. Again, this has got a 80 PSI. The ones from Tramp have an 80 PSI inflation on them. Obviously I don't run them to 80 PSI, I run them to about 55 or 60 for the dirt on this, sometimes a little lower depending if I'm in sand. And then I run the Diamond tyres. The Diamond tyres are beautiful. They're for my 10-inch and when I'm running 10-inch wheels. So 230 by 65, and the maximum inflate on these is 50 PSI as well. So really nice tyre. So Tramper, they're the options that I run. And also, to let you know, what I run on the Tramper, very similar tread pattern between the Tramper and the Transite all-wheel drive direct drive when I'm playing around in the dirt and that. Now, the difference between the two is, directly from Tramper, these are 200 by 50s. These have got an 80 PSI, which is really high. And in saying that, the ones that we run from Transite are running to a 40 PSI. So they're a much different tyre. I don't know what the weight is between these, I haven't tried them, but they definitely are something to think about when you're buying these. Have a look to see what the maximum PSI is. Maximum PSI doesn't always rate which is the stronger or better tyre, because obviously with the MBS and the Kendas, the MBSs are actually a higher PSI than the Kendas. So just don't always go by that. Get on the forums, see what everyone else is using. Actually get below, drop some comments, tell me what you're using, and hopefully everyone can get in there, have a bit of a chat, and we can all have a bit of a conversation. Maybe we might learn something. So I'm using what I've been taught to and shown to use, and this has worked so far so well for me, and I like them, and I like the options I've got. But yeah, if you're using something different, please make a comment below. Let everybody else know what you're using, because you know what? The information is good. So, also, just to let you know, with that tread thing on these dirt tyres, you'll see this here. There is a real weak spot here, and you can see it when I do that. That's where this tyre blew out. Can't actually see it, but you can see I can push my thumb in there and push on the inside of it, and it's very weak. that's where this tyre blew out, and that was pretty much where this tyre gave up. So again, there's no real direct indicators on these tyres where they're going to go or where they're going to get a bit of a flat spot, but if that starts to get nice and wide, consider changing those, because if you've got these trampers up and they're up at 80 psi and they go, I tell you what, it sounds like a cannon going off. Not great. Really unnerves some people. Anyway, that's just a quick video on tyres. I hope you've liked it, and hope you got something out of it. Remember, comment below, get a conversation going, tell us what you're using. I'm really interested, and the community within the channel hopefully start some conversations, because it is really important to know what everyone's running and where they're getting them from. So obviously Full Send Electric, who I'm good mates with, they do the Sunmates, they also do the MBSs, so you can get all those there. Kenders are really, they're like unicorns. You don't see them very often and they're hard to get. Another reason why I run them in the back, because it's a hard wearing position where the motors and stuff are, and the MBS is on the front, nice and soft and grippy, less hard wearing on the front, but sorry, less longevity on the front, but at least I've got some good tyres where the motors are. Anyway, let us know what you think. Drop a comment below. Let's get into it. Let's understand what you're using, and hopefully we can help educate each other. I might learn a few things, and hopefully someone out there who's asking questions might get some advice as well. All right, till next time, stay upright and keep smiling. Craig Taylor, out.